Trong phút chào đón quý khán giả đến với chương trình của VietNEWS USA, một chương trình thiết thực cho mọi gia đình. Thấm thoát, thế là đã 2 năm hành trình của VietNEWS USA phục vụ khán giả thân yêu của mình. Một chặng đường 2 năm thật là nhiều cam go nhưng tràn đầy kỷ niệm. Nhờ sự yêu thương của khán giả và những fan ủng hộ mà VietNEWS USA phát triển đến ngày hôm nay. Nhân dịp kỷ niệm chặng đường 2 năm, VietNEWS USA cảm ơn sự hoạt động hết mình từ những buổi ban đầu của các anh chị em xứ ngôn viên như Mộng Trinh, Thanh Tâm, Jimmy Hoàng, Laco, những kỹ thuật viên như Quang Phan, Christian Lê và các hướng dẫn viên của các chương trình talk show và chương trình như Phương Bi của Khu vườn của những con ong, Lê Lệ của Tài chánh Arizona, Long Lê của Địa ốc Arizona, Anh Paris của The Paris Show, Tiffany Mộng Tuyền của Song Ngữ Cuộc Sống Quanh Ta, Thùy Ngọc với Pháp luật và đời sống và nhiều cộng tác viên trong các chương trình khác. Chương trình kỷ niệm chặng đường 2 năm còn có sự hiện diện của các anh chị em ca nghệ sĩ đang được yêu mến như nữ ca sĩ Phương Thanh, nam ca sĩ Quách Thành Danh, nữ ca sĩ Khả Tú, nam ca sĩ Hoàng Phong, nam ca sĩ trẻ Đô Đô và nhiều ca sĩ khách mời đặc biệt khác. Chương trình ca nhạc dạ tiệc Khi Giấc Mơ Về sẽ được tổ chức vào thứ Bảy ngày 30 tháng 7 năm 2022 tại Indo-America 2809 West Maryland Avenue, Phoenix, Arizona 85017. Mở cửa đón khách từ 6 giờ, chương trình bắt đầu từ 7 đến 11 giờ tối, dạ tiệc phục vụ lúc 8 giờ. Vé vào cửa, vé VIP 1.000 trên một bàn 10 người bao gồm 5 món ăn và 10 chai bia. Vé đồng hạng 750 trên một bàn 10 người bao gồm 5 món ăn. Mua tại cửa vui lòng thêm 10 Mỹ Kim. Mọi chi tiết về chương trình vui lòng gọi 602 481 2647 602 481 2647. VietNEWS USA trân trọng kính mời. Thưa quý khán giả, tháng 11 sắp tới đây thì nước Mỹ sẽ nhiều biến động với cuộc bầu cử năm 2022. Trong các chiến dịch bầu cử thì việc tìm hiểu về các ứng cử viên là điều rất cần thiết. Trong chương trình Song Ngữ Cuộc Sống Quanh Ta, chúng tôi mời quý khán giả cùng lần lượt tìm hiểu về các ứng cử viên tại Arizona và các chiến dịch tranh cử của họ. Hôm nay, mời quý khán giả cùng với VietNEWS USA cùng tiếp chuyện với ông Gary Garcia Snyder đến với chương trình. Ông hiện đang tranh cử với tư cách là ứng cử viên Thượng viện tiểu bang Arizona cho District 23, được coi là thượng nghị sĩ biên giới phía Nam Southern Border. Thưa quý khán giả của VietNEWS USA, sống ở Hoa Kỳ, nơi được mệnh danh là thiên đàng trên đất, với sự kết hợp của các giống dân cùng chung sống và chia sẻ các ngôn ngữ, văn hóa, đem lại một sự kết hợp hùng mạnh khó có đất nước nào có thể sánh bằng. Tìm hiểu thêm về các cộng đồng bạn qua những con người thật, việc thật, cũng sẽ giúp chúng ta biết thêm được nhiều cái hay, cái quý đáng học hỏi. Chương trình Song Ngữ Cuộc Sống Quanh Ta với các khách mời là những doanh nhân, nghệ sĩ, thương gia, chính trị gia sẽ đem đến cho chúng ta nhiều bất ngờ thú vị. Chương trình được sử dụng với 2 ngôn ngữ tiếng Anh và tiếng Việt và với sự điều phối thật linh động lưu loát của cô hướng dẫn chương trình xinh đẹp và tài giỏi của tiểu bang Arizona, Tiffany Mộng Tuyền, sẽ giúp các bạn trẻ thêm sự gần gũi với cộng đồng Việt Nam và cũng như những người khán giả của VietNEWS USA biết thêm được nhiều thông tin cuộc sống xung quanh ta. Và giờ này, mời quý khán giả cùng theo dõi chương trình Song Ngữ Cuộc Sống Quanh Ta hôm nay, ngày 13 tháng 6 với đề tài Gary Garcia Snyder, Arizona State Senate candidate for District 23, the Southern Border Senator. Và giờ này, mời quý khán giả cùng chào đón người hướng dẫn chương trình, cô Tiffany Mộng Tuyền và khách mời.
Well, hey everyone, welcome back to VietNEWS TV. I'm Tiffany Nguyen, the host of the show, and tonight we have a very, very special guest with us. His name is Gary Garcia Snyder, and he is running for Arizona State Senate for District 23, which is actually a very big district. So we'll do all the introductions coming up, but now I'd like to invite Gary to say a few words to our audience.
Well, good evening. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you for having me on the news station tonight. I wanted to say thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy listening about me, my platforms, and most importantly, take the information that I'm about to announce regarding helping families, helping small businesses, and most importantly, being united as a culture.
So Gary, thank you so much. As I talked to you, I learned that you're actually the very first in your family to venture into the politics world,
Yes.
and it's been very recent. It's not something that you dreamt of when you were growing up. So what motivated you to start heading into the politics field?
Well, let's start from the beginning. I was born in Texas, just born. My dad was stationed in El Paso, Texas. He was Army. Then we got stationed in Seattle, Washington, which my uncle was there as well. My dad was Army again. Uncle was Navy, and my grandpa was a doctor on a submarine base in Seattle, Washington. From there, we were very conservative, morals brought up right way. So anything that had to do with patriotism, the United States. My mom's from Mexico, so my culture was Mexican American. But to me, it was always Catholic bringing. My dad was Christian, so I endured both religions in the way of the aspects, the cultural divide in that way. When I grew up, I got my degree in international business, micro marketing. I played pro baseball. I played basketball, baseball, and football in junior high and high school, but in college it was baseball, and then professionally it was baseball as well here in Arizona. That's what brought me here to Phoenix, actually to Mesa for the Cubs minor leagues. Played baseball internationally, Mexico year round. Got to travel the world, and it's a blessing to play sports because it teaches you, working together, enjoying different cultures, but most importantly, what it is teamwork. So when COVID hit in 2019, I was staying at home with my family, my wife and my 2 kids, and I saw the need of leadership. Unfortunately, our elected officials in my community, which is Yuma County, weren't there for our people. And I'm not talking about just one cultural area, it's the whole county itself. So I stepped up because that's the way I was upbringing, was to help the community buy food, water, masks at the time, because a lot of people didn't have the resources, or they wanted to go to Walmart and it was sold out. So luckily I bought my stuff on Amazon, and I didn't make no money, I gave it to for free, because to me, your community is first, your family, friends, community. So when that happened, I started helping out businesses, started helping them out for free with marketing. As long as we took care of whatever the hosting was, I made them quick websites for free so they can get understanding. Because a lot of them were set up for online orders or over the phone or PayPal, Square, whatever third-party financial charter that you use. So that started that way. Then I started going into more towards the politics realm, saying, okay, they're doing stuff that's not supposed to be happening. Then I got a little mad, right? Talked to my family and I said, you know what? This is what I want to do. I'm not a politician, but you know what? A lot of people ain't a politician when they start off. They're just regular citizens with a goal of being a good person with their heart, and that's what leads them. So that's how I got into politics.
Well, and 2019, 2022 now, 3 years later.
Correct.
Are you still happy with the decision, and what are some of the things that you've learned along the way that make you say, I still want to continue with politics?
Well, like I said, right now, especially in our current time frame, politics is, you already knew it was kind of nasty, but this is not a word that you would use. It's deceptive, but if you're strong and you have faith and your family's there and you got support from your friends and the community, it means nothing. That is number one. When you see faces of your next door neighbor, you see businessmen, you see employees that they thank you for helping them out, and that's not even being an elected official yet. It's well worth it. I want to see the community thrive, and you want to see the kids be able to say, I live in America where America means something now.
Perfect. Now, Gary, you live in Yuma, but the district that you're running for is 23, and it actually covers quite a few cities, and you can name them all, but I know a couple that are where there's a lot of Vietnamese people live, including Goodyear and Avondale. So
Correct. So I cover, well, first off, I'm considered the southern border senator. Why do we say that? Because where the I-10 is here in Maricopa, starting from Goodyear, Avondale, Estrella Mountain, so the Avondale down, which is south, I have Elroy, south side of Casa Grande, straight down the whole Tohono, Omono tribe, which is the Indian sovereign nation, south of Tucson, which is under Valencia, which is actually Xavier, Ajo, and then Gila Bend, and then Yuma County. That's all I'm one of the biggest districts as in people. There's a bigger district that just is in space, but as in people, I have the biggest district, which a lot of it's going on right now in Yuma County, as you can tell, open borders, and
That's right.
a lot of drugs are coming through there. And you know what? They need a strong representation. You know, I'm not saying the previous ones ain't doing their job, but I think we can work a little bit harder to fix that.
Thank you. And it's interesting because you shared that your background, your mom is actually, Mexican.
Correct.
So now, working on issues like the border, I am certain that you have a lot of perspectives, a lot of views to draw from, especially with your mom is like coming from
Correct.
it. So how does that kind of background help you to see the problem in a view that you think is justified?
I think as a view and justified is understanding cultures, not just the United States, not just Mexico. I've been to India, I've been to Greece, I've been all over the world, as you can say, Russia, stuff like that.
Oh.
So you see the difference in the culture clash, you see the difference in the values, but at the end of the day, we come down to majority of the cultures is family. They want to work hard. Now, legally, we want to do that, but unfortunately, what we have right now is not illegal stuff, but I'm definitely pro-advocate for better and more advanced citizenship. So if you want to come to the United States legally, we can expedite for the first year for work. No food stamps, no help like that. But if you want to work, we'll expedite it for the first year. You earn your stripes, like we would say. Because at the end of the day, we noticed what happened. We know this current administration was giving a lot of people that should have been getting this extra stimulus checks, and it hurt the businesses. The small, medium business got hurt because you had employees that didn't want to work. They expected more money. So what happens? The pay went up for the same exact job that they were paying them before for $3 less. So what these small, medium-sized businesses, they start taking hits, increase. So what they do is they have to charge more to the consumer. Well, the consumer started saying, I'll just go to a nationwide chain that has a set price and just eat there. Well, now it just hurt you again as a small and medium businesses. So me, as running as a senator, I'm gonna make sure small businesses are helped by grants and make sure there's no state taxes. That is my number one goal. Obviously, there's 23 senators, I'm one of them. So I cover my district, but my votes for the whole state of Arizona.
Tóc bạc là một vấn đề của đàn ông và phụ nữ ở độ tuổi trung niên. Họ phải nhuộm tóc thông thường 2 lần một tháng. Hầu hết thuốc nhuộm đều không phù hợp với tóc. Chúng chứa các hóa chất và có hại gây rụng tóc, khô da đầu, ngứa ngáy khó chịu. Nó cũng khiến chân tóc dễ bị tổn thương, từ đó ảnh hưởng đến sức khỏe của bạn. Đến với Quay giúp quý vị làm chậm tóc bạc. Quay hoàn toàn tự nhiên và không gây bất kỳ tác dụng phụ nào trên tóc và cơ thể bạn. Serum dưỡng tóc này biến đổi tóc bạc thành màu tự nhiên, giúp bạn làm mới mái tóc của mình. Quay điều trị các vấn đề về rụng tóc và thúc đẩy sự phát triển của tóc, ngăn ngừa hư tổn tóc, nuôi dưỡng tóc và trị cầu. Quay làm cho tóc bóng mượt và sang trọng hơn. Quay không có tác dụng phụ và hoàn toàn hữu cơ, giúp dưỡng ẩm cho tóc. Quay trị tóc bạc và chăm sóc tóc toàn diện. Quay trị tóc bạc sớm, phục hồi sắc tố melanin, giúp tóc đen hơn, kích thích mọc tóc, ngăn ngừa rụng tóc, trị cầu, nuôi dưỡng, giữ ẩm tóc, làm dịu da đầu, tăng cường tóc dày và khỏe mạnh. Hãy gọi ngay 916 666 0218 916 666 0218. Quay trị tóc bạc sớm.
Perfect. And explain a little bit about the no tax initiative here.
So as we noticed, there's Governor Ducey and a few others that they want to pass no taxes. So basically for a business itself, they won't pay taxes, but they'll get it back in sales, correct? So that is the goal to do it, but here's more structured. Instead of taking some of that money, we want to make sure that money is allocated to small, medium-sized businesses. So what it is, for example, I'm going to give you $15,000. You have a small business that profits maybe $80,000, $100,000, which we'll say some could be very high, some could be very low. But that money is you get to keep as long as you show that you're paying your employees, your upkeep, you get to keep it. It's like rent. Now, if we notice that you just take those $15,000, like this PPE that we noticed, and buy yourself a new truck, a new RV, or going on vacation, then obviously you're going to have to pay that back with penalties. So the goal is here, make it easier on smaller to medium-sized businesses where they can afford to have the American dream as a culture and as a family. Because at the end of the day, you guys are the backbone that employ people. Mm-hmm. You feed their families. And to be honest, imagine there was no businesses, everyone would be on unemployment. It would be tough. This state would be bankrupt as soon as possible.
And you definitely worked with a lot of smaller communities, like the Indian community, the Vietnamese, and so on. What are some interesting observations when you talk to these small business owners and the operations?
Well, as a small business owner and a medium size that I have, it's always going to be the number one. It doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank to put into your investment. It matters because you don't understand. You're thinking month to month, year to year, are these prices going to increase? Is the government going to charge me more because I have a business that maybe is profiting a little bit more than a medium size or a small size? You're scared about that. On top of that, now you got to worry about all this employees. What happens if they get hurt? What happens if someone comes in and sues you because something goes wrong on a food or retail? You got a lot to worry about. It shouldn't be that way. So right now, what I'm noticing between Hindu, Hispanic, Asian, whatever community you want to put, it's all the same. It wraps around the same issue that they just want to get to work. They don't want to be stressed or scared that they might not be able to afford what comes later.
Okay. And certainly there are a few priorities if you're elected to the state senate here. Fostering small business is one of them. What are some other ones that will be your top priorities?
Priority number one for me is obviously small businesses and medium size. Mm-hmm. Most importantly, person's vote. Because at the end of the day, a person's vote is what chooses the elected official. Now, if you have the wrong elected official in there, not because the person voted for him, but illegally was a vote, then that doesn't help the community, doesn't help our nation, or the way that we do our voting. So to me right now, I'm very big on voting, that it's transparent and it's not fraudulent. I've been a very advocate of clear voting and transparency. I had an opportunity, unfortunately, to witness 23 criminal acts on the 2020 election here in Yuma County. This act became with indictments and became the main center stage of the 2000 Mules that Dinesh D'Souza has put out this past 2 weeks, and it's also in the movie theaters at AMC. I'm not in there because I didn't want to be in there. To me, the main focus was explanation, so every culture knows that voting needs to be straight, not fraudulent, because at the end of the day, we believe as a nation, you choose who you believe is going to best govern our nation. And to me, I'm very, very upon that.
And for those who are interested, 2000 Mules is actually a documentary, and like Gary had said, you can actually look it up, and there's a couple of shows in a day.
Correct.
So if you're interested, please do go see it at the theaters. So talking about the voting here, you certainly have, as you've shared, witnesses, voted fraud that you don't think should have been there in the first place. What have you helped support to make sure that in the upcoming elections here, that won't be the case anymore?
So I advocated to make sure it's known nationwide through all the news outlets, but I go a step further. I don't just talk about it. I make sure I go to house, community to community, especially Hispanic or cultural communities that their English isn't the first language. Some of them are, and no offense, ignorant to coming voting because they've been only told this from nonprofits. I make sure that they understand that it's illegal to get paid for a ballot, or it's illegal to give your ballot for a service that a nonprofit or someone pays for. But to secure your ballots and turn it in person to either the mailbox or in person to the election room. Because at the end of the day, it's a possibility that if you get caught without you knowing that it's a crime, that you're the one that go to jail. And we don't want that. Our communities have always been hit the worst than, communities that their number one is English. So we want to make sure that everyone understands in their own way, because it's not always going to be out there. We got to work on making sure the literature and the education part is for everyone.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. So let's talk a little bit about your family. You have a lovely family here, and you said you did talk to your wife and children and the rest of the family. And I'm certainly sure there's a lot of sacrifices have to be made to support you in this route. How are they feeling right now?
They're feeling good and excited now that I'm on doing the news. Before them too, obviously thought the same. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. We sacrifice not being home with my children. I have a 13-year-old boy, Andrew. I have almost a 2-year-old baby, Isabella. It's beautiful to see their eyes. It hurts at the same time, but I remember what is the sacrifice? Sacrifice as parents, we make sure our children has better lives than we do and a better future in the nation. So to me, the time of sacrifice is very important, but it's very important to make sure everything's good.
Okay, perfect. I think we talked about your top priorities, but we haven't talked about the rest. What else do you want to cover?
Well, obviously, Eric can talk about border security is very important. We are humans, so humanity is very big. But, I make sure I went out there to the border. I go every other day to pick up a lot of trash because unfortunately there's a lot of trash thrown out, and, we live in a community in Yuma County which 70% of our agriculture takes care of New York State. So New York State, 70% of our agriculture in Yuma County takes care of them. Now when there's trash that goes in there, it gets cultivated, well, it's conceived, you can't use it. So that's a lot of food that's getting thrown away. I also talk to the people crossing illegally because I want to find out, why, what was the journey, how much did you spend? Because you need to understand why they're willing to put themselves a sacrifice of maybe the drug mules, or maybe being unfortunately, raped, or children, stuff like that. You need to understand why. And the issue is there. Some have valid information. Some you can tell it's the same information from everywhere else, but it's the knowledge to understand what's going on. And majority of them do want to work, which is great. We need a workforce, construction, we need stuff like that. But a lot of them already want to come and want free stuff because they said the United States is all about free. And those are the ones that we need to educate and be like, that's not what we're looking for. The United States is based on culture, a lot of culture from all over the world that come down together to make American dream, work hard, make their family grow up. That's what we're looking about. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, and you certainly are an example of that, from the background, and now you're running. What's your chance? What's your chance of winning this? Can you?
Well, like I said, I used to play, like I said, baseball. So when you go against an opponent that you say, okay, used to be the champion, they are undefeated, it's just a word, it's just a term. Yes, it is on paper, but in any sport, in any opportunity, if you try and give it your best, the option of winning is there. It is present. And then you have faith, that's the number one key. Mm-hmm. So to me, my faith is strong. I have the support from the family, I have support from friends, and I believe I have the support as a nation because we all want our nation to be great. And not just the United States, but all nations. Regardless of some are having a little issues, we all want the same. We're all human. We want a healthy family. We want a financial family. And most importantly, I think we all want to be happy. I think that's all in common. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we have some people that just don't want that. But we got to understand because they are human as well.
And so for our audiences who want to support you, what are some ways they can assist you? Okay,
well, you can go on my website, which I'm sure they'll put on the link. It's Snyder4Arizona.com is my website. From there you can see my Facebook, Twitter, all my social media accounts. Also, if you're looking to help out for the campaign in donations or volunteering, if it doesn't matter what part of the United States you are, you can always make phone calls, you can always share on your social media. If you go to WinRed is a site that only candidates are vetted by making sure that their background is good, they're a good candidate. Then right there under WinRed, you go to State of Arizona, Senator, and then you'll see my name as Gary Garcia Snyder.
All right. Remember, and we actually will be publishing those links as well so that you can further read on the details like Gary just shared. Let's talk a little bit about your previous life, which is sports. You did mention a few things here, but what are some of the major sports clubs that you've played for?
Okay, well, I was always brought up playing sports.
Xe cộ là một phương tiện không thể thiếu cho mỗi người trong chúng ta. Tuy nhiên, khi gặp phải trở ngại vì xe hư dọc đường, còn người kéo xe cũng như sửa xe thì phải làm sao? Đừng lo, hãy gọi ngay Eric Auto Repair với số điện thoại 623 792 0896 623 792 0896 để được giúp đỡ nhiệt tình. Eric Auto Repair chuyên kiểm tra và sửa máy xe, chẩn đoán hệ thống đường truyền điện, máy nóng và AC, sửa và thay timing belt, hệ thống bơm nước, hệ thống điện, hệ thống phun nhiên liệu, thay máy, thay hộp số, thắng xe, bảo trì xe, hệ thống làm mát máy xe, sửa chữa hệ thống khói xe để check smoke, hệ thống làm mát máy, bàn đạp, ghiền sữa, thay máy và các hộp số các loại xe, sửa chữa body xe. Ngoài ra, chúng tôi còn có dịch vụ kéo xe miễn phí nếu quý vị sửa xe tại tiệm. Hãy gọi ngay 623 792 0896 623 792 0896. Eric Auto Repair tọa lạc tại 2117 West Camelback Road, Phoenix, Arizona 85015. Eric Auto Repair mở cửa từ thứ Hai đến thứ Bảy từ 8 giờ sáng đến 5 giờ chiều. Chuyên nghiệp, tận tâm, uy tín, giá cả phải chăng?
I always studied, so I thank God for sports because in Washington State you had to have a B plus average. So you know, I wasn't always the bookworm. My sister was always cum laude, bookworm, and stuff like that. But I played football, basketball, and baseball. That was my life. And once in a while, I go to the movie theaters, right?
Nice.
So when I got to high school, football, basketball, baseball, all-star athlete, but I was always part of the entrepreneurship. You know, I was always doing stuff for the community, love helping out, you know, food drives, stuff like that. When I got to college, I played only baseball. So when I played baseball, I got lucky enough to be blessed by a minor league contract here in Phoenix. And I played a few years, then I went to Mexico to play year-round because in the United States you only play a season and then you take it off. In Mexico it's year-round, just like Japan, just like a few other nations that play baseball itself. So it's a blessing to be able to live the culture, see the fans, because that's what gets you excited is the fans. You know, a lot of professional players end up just worrying about themselves instead of worrying about the fans. And true or not, you're getting paid to play a kids game, you know, and the people that are paying to come watch you, to me, that's number one. So I always have kids clinics all the time because I love the kids. You know, they're our future, and just one minute out of the day might be importance for our family.
Absolutely. And you also play for the Cubs?
Yes.
Oh, well, everyone should know who the Cubs are. So, and what was your most memorable experience with the Cubs?
The first day of spring training. It was awesome. It was extended. It was 124 degrees outside here in Mesa, Arizona.
Yes.
And the first day, they're like, all right, 25-minute run. That was the most exciting. Why? Because I was dying. I was bawling coming from Washington State, so cold and from warm. But it remembered, you know, made me think, you know, if you can work hard and you can, you know, believe in God or your faith or whatever religion you have, it's possible. And I was tired, but I remembered, you know what? I'm playing professional baseball.
Yes.
I'm on a field that only a few selected are on there. So to me, that excited me. So I use that same will and power to put it towards my politics right now. Because I know a community needs it. We need to unite together.
Right.
So my entrepreneurship as a business and my love for being in sports, being a team player resonates into my political aspirations.
Yeah, and you also supported the congressional term limit.
Correct.
That means your politics career may be a little short here, you know, after 12 plus years or something like that. But you do believe in that, and you
yes, I do believe. You know, for someone to go in there powerfully, maybe the first year or the second year, we'll give a gimme that might not be able to do as much as they want because they might be getting their feet wet. But I believe being in politics 12 years or more is not the way to go. You know, we need to be with modern times, modern affiliate, and modern thoughts. Because a lot of people, unfortunately, a very short number, stay true to themselves and their community and constituents. majority intent about, okay, this is our final job, let's retire and get the millions or whatever else comes with special group. I'm not about that. That's why I was willing to be the first one in Arizona to sign that term limits. And when I said, I'll sign it, but I need to make sure you help me create a bill here in Arizona that there's a term limit on running for office as a House representative or a senator. Because it should be like that, and it goes down not just there, but also to city council, mayor, judges, and most importantly, school boards, because school boards are very important.
Yes.
Our education is very important to our kids.
Yeah. I do believe that you need a refreshed mind, new thinking and so
That's
on.
right.
So if if that's what it takes to better the community, progressively all the time, then that might be it. Who have endorsed you so far? Who are some of the big names that we might recognize?
Well, right now in Arizona and the whole nation of the United States is a Trump-endorsed candidate for running for governor here in Arizona. Her name is Carrie Lake.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big endorsement. I love Carrie Lake. She has my 100% support, not just because she endorsed me, but before she had my support. Another gentleman running for U.S. Senator, entrepreneur, Army vet as well, football player, the gentleman just has a long list, is Jim Lehman. He's running for U.S. Senator. He has my full support as well. So I've been endorsed by him. Another one is House of Representatives, Teresa Martinez. Another House Representative that's running for Congress now is Walt Blackman. Those are the main ones that I was interested in getting, and luckily I've got that one. I'm only waiting on one more endorsement.
Oh, don't want to unveil it just yet.
Yes, and I call him Papi.
Papi.
Papi,
All right.
Latino name.
All right, so good luck with that.
Thank you.
Hopefully you get that endorsement, and then of course with the election coming up here, best of luck to you. I also know that there is a book that you've helped to form that's coming up. Maybe share a few words about the book.
So when I retired playing baseball, I wanted to get back to the community. So in the professional league, it's very tough to play pro ball, AAA, AA, but there's semi-pro. So what I created, I started going to different countries like India. For 15 days, we did tryout camps for all positions, not just pitching, but all positions in India. And we were able to sign eight players to a contract to come to the United States. Unfortunately, that's when COVID hit and we couldn't have them come down to the United States. So we had camps down there that we had them work out. From there was a lady that was in Oxford. She was interested in the itself. She got all the information from me. She got all the information from down there, and she wrote a book for her thesis. And her thesis went out so good that they wanted to publish it. So within a year, about a month and a half, we'll have a book, and within the end of the year, we'll have a movie for this.
Exciting.
The book is called Fiesta Winter League in Delhi.
And who's in the movie? Like what are?
They're actually going to be, the movie itself is going to be actors from India.
Wow.
I will just be a cut in as an intro, but I won't be there. There'll be someone playing for me.
Oh, okay. So we'll see you at the beginning or at the footage.
At the red carpet, yep, correct.
Very nice. Well, congratulations.
Thank
a lot
you, I
of
appreciate it.
exciting things coming your way. And from speaking to you, I can sense that you do things from your heart, you do it with
Right.
passion, and then let that be the guiding light for you, and you hope to do the right things as part of it.
Yeah. I try to be as transparent as I am. If there's information that, to be honest, I don't know, I just be front. I don't know, I'm not versed in that, but I will learn and get back to you with the response.
Oh, very good. Well, any other items that you'd like to bring up that I haven't got the chance to ask you?
Well, I'm very excited to see this cast, but I want to make sure that we have the opportunity, if you have any questions, that you please send messages to VietNEWS USA, and they'll be in contact with me. So if we need to come back again to answer some of these questions, it would be nice to do a Q&A at a further date.
That would be nice. Maybe we'll bring back, a few
Correct.
audience members, and they can have questions for Gary as the date is near.
That's
So-
right. Thank you very much, Tiff. I appreciate
Of
it.
course, Gary. Pleasure to meet you.
Same here.
Congratulations
Thank
on all
you.
the accomplishments, and best of luck with the upcoming race here.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Cảm ơn quý khán giả đã theo dõi chương trình song ngữ Cuộc Sống Quanh Ta với Tiffany Mộng Tuyền và khách mời. Chương trình phát hình vào mỗi tối thứ Hai hàng tuần trong khung giờ quen thuộc là 7 giờ PM giờ Arizona trên channel VietNEWS USA. Mọi đóng góp ý kiến cũng như tham gia chương trình, vui lòng liên lạc với chúng tôi qua số điện thoại 602 481 2647 hoặc vào địa chỉ email info.vietnewsusa@gmail.com. Chân thành cảm ơn. Chúc quý khán giả có một ngày thật là vui bên gia đình và người thân. Hẹn gặp lại quý khán giả trong chương trình tới. Và đừng quên bấm nút like, nút chuông để luôn theo dõi cũng như chia sẻ chương trình của VietNews đến với mọi người. Have a wonderful day and see you soon.